Hi, and welcome to Chapter 8, Section 5 on Inequalities. This is going to begin on textbook page 617 and go through textbook page 620. If you look at the top of textbook page 617, you'll see the word inequalities right here, and you will see the two people playing air hockey. What we're going to do, normally I start with the vocabulary, but we're going to come back to the vocabulary towards the end of the section, so you can just skip past that. Now you want to look at the real world link. I just want to make a point to you to remember back to elementary school when you learned about the less than and greater than symbol. So you want to remember that the sign is essentially eating the larger number. So we're going to make a big heart right here, and we're going to make this right here, and we're going to make a little heart right here. So that way you can remember it's kind of like a gator mouth chomping, and it's going to eat the larger number, the number that's larger in value. So the examples that they've given you here are complete the following using the less than or equal than, less than or greater than sign symbol. So it says the score after 2 goals is, and that would be less than the score after 3 goals. So we are going to put a less than sign there. The cost to download 10 songs is greater than the cost to download 2 songs. The temperature outside in the summer is greater than the temperature outside in the winter. Now, I know here in Florida that could actually be debatable because ours is probably about the same. But for the purposes of this activity, you understood what it meant. The height of a 1st grade student is less than the height of a 6th grade student. So you want to put the less than symbol. And it said the time to eat lunch is greater than the time to brush your teeth. So hopefully you went ahead and completed those. You also want to make sure you have the example with the hearts written there too. Now you should be looking at textbook page 618. At the top you'll see the key concept, which says inequalities. Let's go ahead and look at that at a closer view. All right, so right here you see the symbols for, let's go ahead and start with the symbol for less than. So that is the symbol right here, and it's less than. And the words are less than and fewer than. These are important because you're going to be writing the expressions, or the inequalities rather. So the way that the example here is read is 3 is less than 5. The next one is greater than, and it's saying that whatever number is, or whatever value is to the left of that symbol is greater than the number to the right of the symbol. So the words are greater than and more than. The example is read 8 is greater than 4. The next 2 are important because, very, very important, because they include whatever the number is. So for example, you'll see that this is the less than or equal to sign. So this one is exactly like the less than sign, except it includes whatever value it is. So the example that they've given you here is 7 is less than or equal to 10. So that's a fine example, but they could have also written something like 10 is less than or equal to 10 because it is equal to 10. 7 is less than or equal to 10 also works. So what they're saying is anything below 10 works and 10 itself works. Whereas on this one, whereas right here for the less than, I'm just going to make sure that you can see the comparison. If I say, I can say that 9 is less than 10, but I cannot say that 10 is less than 10. And so I'm going to put a big red X through that. So that's really the difference here, is that it includes 10. So this particular one doesn't include 10, and the one on the right does, includes 10. That'll make a little more sense too once we get into the inequalities themselves. So in the last one you see here is going to be greater than or equal to, and it's also is at least. So 12 is greater than or equal to 9. So again, with the greater than or equal to, it's the same thing right here though. You could also have 9 is greater than or equal to 9. That is also correct because 9 is equal to 9. So that word or is important because it means either or. Obviously not going to be both. Inequalities can be solved by finding values of the variables that make the inequality true. All right, so let's go ahead and look. Again, you don't need to black out the information. I black that out so that the answers aren't staring us in the face. Of the numbers 6, 7, and 8, which is a solution of the inequality? So from top to bottom, I would expect you to use the original substitute solve function. So as you can tell, the original expression is going to be f plus 2 is less than 9. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to say, okay, 6 was 1, which is right here. So we're going to do 6, and then everything else I'm going to copy right here. Plus 2 is less than 9. Now we need to work the problem out on the left-hand side. So 6 plus 2 is 8, and then we've got less than 9. And then you need to ask yourself, is 8 less than 9? Well, yes, 8 is definitely 8 is definitely less than 9, so this one is correct. So what that means in the way that you would say that is that 6 is a solution for this problem, okay? Now we need to test the next one because we don't just stop because we found 1. We want to check to see if the others are a match as well. So the next one, we're going to do the same formula. So original, f plus 2 is less than 9. Then we're going to plug in the 7. So 7 plus 2 is less than 9. Then we're going to go ahead and do the math here. 7 plus 2 is 9. So now our problem states 9 is less than 9. Now I want to make the point here that you want to notice that I'm not changing anything on the right-hand side. So I wouldn't say now, oh, 9 is less than or equal to 9 so that it includes it. No, what you're doing is you're plugging in numbers and you're checking to find out if those numbers are solutions for the inequality. So in this particular equation, 9 is not less than 9 because 9 is equal to 9. So that's how we know that this is, so 7 is not a solution. And what they did to show you that was this x right here. And then the last one I'm going to have to squish down here is f plus 2 is less than 9. Then for f, we are going to plug in 8. Everything else stays the same. Plus 2 is less than 9. 8, 9, 10. 10 is less than 9. And that is absolutely incorrect. 10 is not less than 9. So you can see the x there, right? You can see the x right there. So 10 is, I'm sorry. There we go. So 8 is not a solution. Okay, and so what it says here is what we want to pay attention to. Since the number 6 is the only value that makes a statement true, 6 is the solution of the inequality. Right there. All right, you want to go ahead and try one on your own. Now keep in mind, even if you come upon the solution for the first one, you need to test all 3 of them. So go ahead and again, you're going to make sure that you start with the formula or the inequality for each one. N minus 3 is greater than 6. I should see that to start with every single one of them. So you don't want to start plugging numbers in. You want to start with the inequality. All right, welcome back. So what I've done here is I've plugged in the number 8 in pink and I've circled the 8 up there. And now I'm just going to work through that. So 8 minus 3 is 5. And then I'm going to leave everything else white. And that would be read out loud. 5 is greater than 6 because the alligator mouth is eating the 5. And we need to ask ourselves, is 5 greater than 6? Well, 5 is not greater than 6. So we're going to say that that is not a solution. Okay, and we're going to put a big X right here. Now we can go on to the next problem, the next portion, which is going to be 9. So again, I'm going to start with n minus 3 is greater than 6. Then I'm going to plug in blue 9 for my n. Everything else stays the same. Minus 3 is greater than 6. Okay, then you can see here 9 minus 3 is 6. So, excuse me, 6 is greater than 6 is what this says. And 6 is not greater than 6 because 6 is actually equal to 6. So this is also not a solution, X. And let's go on to the last one. Okay, as you can see here, we went ahead and finished. 10 minus 3 is 7. 7 is greater than 6. And 7 is in fact greater than 6. So this is a solution, check. So we would say that 10, let's go ahead and write that here. 10 is a solution. All right, so for that previous page, they gave you the values to put in for the variable, and then you had to test each of the 3 values. For this page on textbook page 619, you have to determine the solutions for the inequality. So you have to find out what those numbers are. So let's go ahead and check out how to do that. Okay, it says determine solutions of an inequality. Since an inequality uses greater than and less than symbols, one variable inequalities have infinitely many solutions. Infinitely, that means it goes on and on. For example, any rational number greater than 4 will make the inequality x is greater than 4 true. So basically all they're saying in this statement is that we could say this was 26 is greater than 4. We could say this is 252 is greater than 4. So it goes on and on and on, the possibilities. All right, so for example 2, it says, is the given value a solution of the inequality? So let's go ahead and check. So first you're going to want to write the problem, which is x plus 3 is greater than 9. And then they're saying, is the given value, which is x equals 4 right there, a solution of the inequality? So then, just like before, we're going to plug in 4 plus 3 is greater than 9. So again, everything else stays the same except for the 4. We've substituted 4 for x. And then we're going to add 4 plus 3 is going to now give us 7. And the problem is now 7 is greater than 9. And since 7 is not greater than 9, 4 is not a solution. So you would write no. All right, so here in example 3, it says 12 is less than or equal to 18 minus y. So again, we're going to write 12 is less than or equal to 18 minus y. And they want to know if this is true when y is 6. So you're going to copy the problem again because this is our substitute. 12 is less than or equal to 18 minus, and then this is the part where it changes. We're going to substitute 6 for the y. So now we need to finish solving the rest of the problem. 12 is less than or equal to 18 minus 6 gives us 12. And since 12 is equal to, see that little part right there? Since 12 is equal to 12, this is a solution. So that's what they've said right here. Okay, now we're looking at example 4. It says 17 is greater than or equal to 11 plus x. And they want to know if x equaling 8 is going to be a solution. So notice they've copied the problem, just how we have. And then they write 17 is greater than or equal to 11 plus, we're going to put an 8 here in the box. And then we're going to write, okay, 11 plus 8 gives us 19. And since 17 is not greater than or equal to 19, they put a slash through that, which I would like you to do as well. And so you're going to write, since 19 is not, not 19. Since 17 is not greater than or equal to 19, 8, which remember we got from right here, is not a solution. Okay, you want to go ahead and pause the video here so that you can try it on your own, but keep in mind you do need to write the original inequality first, then substitute, and then solve. All right, welcome back. So we have a plus 7 is greater than 15, and they would like to know if 9 is a solution. So I've written the problem here. Now we're going to substitute 9 for a, leave everything else the same, plus 7 is greater than 15, and then we need to add the 9 plus 7, that gives us 16 is greater than 15, and 16 is in fact greater than 15, so 9 is a solution. Okay, great. Let's try the next one. 22 is less than or equal to 15 plus b. They want to know if b equaling 6 will make the solution true, make the inequality true. So 22 is less than or equal to 15 plus, now b is equal to 6. Let's go ahead and put a 6 there. Then we copy the whole problem again. 22 is less than or equal to 15 plus 6 is actually 21. So it says 22 is less than or equal to 21. Well, 22 isn't less than or equal to 21, so that is a big no. So then what we need to say is that 6 is not a solution. And this is how you will word it on your work as well. Okay, now try D and E. Okay, we've started by writing the problem. N minus 4 is less than 6. Then they want to know if n equaling 10, so 10 minus 4 is less than 6. And then we get 10 minus 4, which is 6. And this is one that you want to pay close attention to because 6 is not less than 6. 6 is actually equal to 6. So that's not true. And now we know that 10, oops, let me change colors here. Now we know that 10 is not a solution. Don't mind my crying dog in the background. The next problem says 12 is greater than or equal to 5 plus g, and the problem is looking to see if g equals 7 is a solution. So let's go ahead and take a look. So 12 is greater than or equal to 5 plus, we're going to go ahead and put a 7 in there. Copy everything the same. 12 is greater than or equal to 5 plus 7. 5 plus 5 is 10, plus 2 more is 12. So we get 12. And you want to pay, again, close attention to this. So because of this line right here, this makes this a solution. It's true because 12 is, in fact, equal to 12. It's not greater than 12, but it's equal to. And that's what that line right there means. So the answer for this one would be, let's try this again, 7 is a solution. Hopefully you did well with that. Now we're looking at textbook page 620. You should see the balloons in the top left corner of the page. The problem says, Louisa works at a gift shop. She receives a bonus if she makes more than 20 balloon bouquets in a month. So I want you to stop and think for just 1 second. She has to make more than 20. So 20, if she makes just 20, she doesn't get the bonus, okay? So just think about that as you're reading these problems. Which months did Louisa receive a bonus? So before we read any further, let's look. So she received the bonus in July, and she received the bonus in October. Use the inequality B is greater than 40. So B is greater than 40, where B represents the number of balloon bouquets made each month to solve. Use the guess, check, and revise strategy. So as you can tell, they went ahead and put each one in right here. So you can see it. They plugged it in here, 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 and here. And it says, so Louisa received the bonus in July and October. So just like we said earlier, July and October. I'm not going to make you rewrite all of these right here, so you guys can see exactly what you needed to do here. And your homework for this evening is going to be to do the guided practice. You want to make sure that you're doing the guided practice exactly how we did it in the video. So you want to make sure to write the original inequality. So if I were you, I would actually write my work. For this one, you can start it right here. But for this one here, since the answer line is here, I would actually write my work right here. So you can write the original substitute solve. This one you would need work probably like right here and so on. And then you want to make sure that you answer down here. So I'm looking for you to do numbers 1 through, and actually it says 6 here. Let me go ahead and erase that. Go ahead and stick with the 1 through 5 that I normally have you do. Good luck, and I'll see you next class period.